and welcome to Level 3 Year 2 Journalism. Today we're going to be talking about the future of journalism. I'm joined here today by Christena, a student here in Arm College, as well as Mykyta, who studies here as well in journalism. Let's throw it out to our guests.
So, in my opinion, the future of journalism could be about digital and being the news being online by by the BBC online and then the ITV. It can be a really big thing for the future of journalism because it would be a decrease of newspapers and then other journalism aspects like TV or like radio. Mykyta, what do you think?
Well, yeah, social media has really changed the journalism very much. So, for example, printed journalism like newspapers, they are nearly dead. Radio is also like previous era now, because now we have digital radio, for example, if you're talking about radio at all, and no one listens radio, at least like it can be in car maybe, but mostly people listen in podcasts, they use in streaming platforms to consume like content. It can be entertainment or news, anything, but it's not about radio or TV now.
What do you think about Lily?
So I definitely think that print journalism is going to be kind of like diminished soon. I don't think that it's got much else to go off, because obviously most printed journalism like sources have their own websites anyway, which people read stories on, and it doesn't cost any money. Well, most of the time, like they do like ask you to pay for it, but like it's more easily accessible than going to a shop and like getting a newspaper. Like no one really, I haven't really seen anyone like have a newspaper. But I do think it would be sad if there was no more newspapers. I don't know, but I definitely think that social media has changed how people like receive news and respond to it as well, especially like because of how much fake news there is out there. Like I think that has definitely like impacted it as well. But I'm not quite sure about how that's going to affect journalism in the future. Like maybe it will like I don't know what will happen with that. So
I definitely agree because with print, same with like the magazines and the newspapers. I feel like a lot of people prefer magazines
yeah.
mainly because of like Vogue and how like it's really iconic to have like Vogue magazines. But I feel like that's the only reason why there's still like a bit more people that are going to buy print journalism. But apart from newspapers, there's not really that much. I feel like for newspapers, I feel like it might be the only reason why people are still buying them, probably because like there are like advertisements and you can get like free discounts on newspapers. So I feel like that is also a reason why. And then like with the social media, it is like true. Where like more citizens are becoming journalists. They are using their platform and like using their phones to create a space for their own journalism projects. So it could definitely be hard for us journalists because there are going to be more people that are going to be doing journalism for free.
Yeah, that's so true.
Well, I think printed stuff is also have its place in exclusive content, because, for example, about magazines, it can be exclusive printed version of like kind of project, with exclusive articles and comments from different experts, what wasn't published in social media, for example, because social medias are free. Mostly because they advertise in a lot of stuff there, but printed media, printed stuff, it's like something physical, something what you can touch, such a book. So you just hold it and you're like, yeah, I have it. It's like, it feels more exclusive, it feels more unique. So when you have an account in social media, it's nothing. It's not feels like, oh, okay, this is my account with some exclusive content there. Sometimes it is, but it's not that huge feeling when you hold something physically. So yeah.
I feel like with that, there are so much people that prefer like phones because it's more accessible. So with like newspapers, I get what you mean, but like there's so much people that don't have that time to like pick up a newspaper or like go buy a newspaper because it's so free to use their own phone. So I feel like it could be like a way that they're just trying to find a way that's cheaper to look at newspapers. So I feel like if it could be free, I feel like even if it's free, I feel like not a lot of people would know about it because newspapers are not really a huge thing, even though like it should be, but it's not that huge.
Yeah.
So I feel like maybe if they made it free or like maybe if they advertised newspapers more, then it probably would be a different thing.
Yeah. And I also feel like with social media and fake news, like it can escalate a situation so easily. Like when we've seen the riots, like in August, that was like misinformation being spread like on social media, like on like right wing like forums and stuff about stuff that wasn't even true, which caused all these riots and like so much damage like to like the public and like society and stuff, and that was literally because of like social media and misinformation. So I feel like it can be really dangerous if people get their news from like social media platforms because it's not always reliable, and it's like it's not really trustworthy, and like people can like come up with something so easily and then just it gets spread around like so quickly, and it's just really scary, like, and it can cause so much damage. So I feel like it would be really bad if like social media became the main source of news because it's not really reliable. Like I feel like it's better to just get your news from like TV journalism and stuff, like, because it's like you can't really argue with like facts. Like facts are like subjective, like that's literally what it is. Like you can have a different opinion on it, but it doesn't mean that it's true. Like it doesn't make any sense for people to get their news off social media. I think you need to go to a more reliable source before you make any decisions about anything.
I feel like there's a lot of false narratives on social media, especially with like false news being swindled, such as like the viruses that are like going around, like monkeypox and all this stuff. They're supposed to be having like outbreaks and people like secondary school people like they're making fake news trying to get it to make it seem like schools are closing down, or even like other fake news to make it seem like schools are closing down. I feel like it's definitely really bad. I feel like it definitely could affect a lot of people. And even with like political things, I feel like it's very dangerous to make fake political news because it can lead to something that can affect the whole world. So I feel like I definitely agree with you. But I feel like because of how it's going, I feel like it might definitely be the future of journalism, even though it's not really a good thing. I feel like it might just be because it's free. But I feel like it would definitely take a turn once more people start to create fake news that are really damaging and affecting the world.
What are your opinions on this?
Well, social media is a game-changing thing. It's something what gives to people a freedom of speech just because they have internet connection. So it's much easier to spread information all around the world, and you can say whatever you want. Of course, someone not using it for good purposes, but it's interesting because back then, in the past, it's 20th century with radio and TV, or earlier with printed media. Government always had a huge control on what they actually publishing, what they saying about, what they talking about. So social media are different because there is no there is control, like moderation from the actual platforms. Yeah, but there is no such a huge control from the governments. So the information has no filter, and it spreads very quickly. And it's interesting what the government's gonna do with this stuff, because you mentioned riots. So if talking freedom of speech, it's pretty long topic with different nuances, and I don't really want to go into it because it's a too long discussion. But people have different opinions, and they feel free to share it. But of course, some people may be wrong in different stuff, and it was very interesting reaction from the government, and we will see how it will develop, because we live in an era when everything changed very quickly, and social media is game-changing thing. So we will see.
What do you guys think of AI? Do you think AI would be a huge trend for future journalism, or do you think it would have a decline?
Well, AI is a new technology, very new technology, so it's very young. It's a couple of years. We have when it's developed, science when it was developed, and well, it learning stuff very quickly. So they develop it very quickly, and to be honest, sometimes I'm not in time knowing what AI can do now, you know. So they're creating images, they're creating videos, they're generating text, they can speak with you like ordinary person. Sometimes some people, especially older people, they can't see difference. Is it AI generated content or it's not? So I saw a lot of. Sometimes it's very funny stuff in internet when they publish absolute nonsense generated by AI, and all the people was like, how they did it? Oh my God, no way. So like it's really a thing now. Some people can't see a difference. And of course we need to do something with it. If you're talking about journalism, AI can help to solve some minor problems. Like we all have some like job which we don't really want to do, you know, something like routine job, and AI may help to make the job really quickly without any effort from your side.
Yeah, I feel like AI could be really dangerous for journalism because it takes away the human aspect, which I think a lot of people like connect with. Like when you're reading a story written by someone like you feel more like connected to it. Like if you were just reading a story that was generated by AI or like a news piece generated by AI, you'd be able to tell, like most people would be able to tell, and you wouldn't like feel like it wouldn't impact you as much. Do you know what I mean? Like it wouldn't like you won't be able to feel it as much as you would if it was read by an actual person or written by an actual person, because it's got that human aspect. And also we've seen how dangerous AI can be with like people generating like deep fakes and stuff, which can be really dangerous for like famous people. So hopefully like AI will be like cracked down on, and like there'll be some like regulations enforced if it does get more advanced later on. Hopefully like it will there'll be like legislations like so you can't use it in a specific way, or like it won't be used in news, because that can be like, I feel like that can be a bit dangerous and stuff. But hopefully it doesn't like take over journalism, because I feel like it's better to have the human aspect of it, and I feel like that's what a lot of people connect with, and I just feel like it's a lot better to have that than something that's like not even real. I don't know.
Yeah, I strongly agree, especially with like the deep facts.
Yeah.
I've seen a video from like the effect of deep facts where it was an AI video of Barack Obama, which was like the former U.S. president. It was an AI of him talking about President Trump, and it was a lot of like bad reviews, and everyone was like, "Oh yeah, Barack Obama is calling Trump this, Trump that." So it's definitely really dangerous because you can make someone like a famous person, you can make them say inappropriate things or do inappropriate things that can get them in trouble and can definitely change and affect the world. I feel like with AI for journalism, I feel like it might be in the future, it might be a really bad thing for um, magazine writers and like also like online writers because they might change some of the journalists' jobs and use AI to make articles and make magazines. So I feel like that would definitely be tricky for some of the
There's definitely
journalists.
a financial aspect as well.
Yeah.
Because if news outlets decide to use AI to generate their stories, then writers are losing out on jobs and they're losing out on the money, and it's like it's just not good for anyone. Like I don't really understand the benefits of it in the journalistic aspect. Like I just feel like it's not a good thing to have, if especially like within journalism. But that's just my opinion.
Yeah.
Well, I think AI is not able to replace human in creative writing.
I feel like it will eventually because they've already tried doing that for writers in Hollywood. So that's why they were going on writer strikes because the people that are above like everyone, they wanted to use AI to instead of using writers. So that's why they actually went on strike. But I feel like it can definitely be a possibility if if people start to work more on AI. And I mean, even like ChatGPT, you can put anything into the app and it would give you a whole good essay about whatever you want. So I feel like that could be a possibility.
Well, scenarios and scripts, for example, for film industry, is different stuff because it's something which you're using just for work, you know. So you need to stage a scene, like make a script, who moving where, and all this stuff. And I think AI can do this really easily. I'm talking about creative writing in meaning of articles, reviews, maybe kind of fiction, non-fiction writing, you know. So all of this stuff, because it looks like pretty good essay, but when you start reading it, you feels like it's not, it wasn't written by a person, you know. It was written by AI, and I don't know how it will develop, you know. So it may be better in such a human things like creative writing in the future, but I hope it will not.
Yeah, because if so, then our jobs will take it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, especially for like the journalists that want to do like written journalism.
It's more also about kind of spiritual thing. I'm not sure is it the right word for it, but I mean, you know, humans are different from like anything alive, you know, because they have mind and they have like existential thinking problems, you know, and other stuff. So we're thinking about why we live, what is the purpose, and other stuff, you know, and it is all reflected in creative writing, you know. AI don't have this stuff. It has only a system, only like kind of research. So it's copyright, you know. So it's imitation of human text. It grabs examples from different books, articles, everything what we have in internet, you know, made by humans, and just generate the imitation of text written by human. So I don't think it will it will develop that good that make kind of text or anything else what will be that good and that unperfect and with huge human design that it will be like, okay, I don't know, is it human or AI? You know?
I definitely agree on that point of view because with AI and like if in the future they decide to like replace writers with like AI, it could start to get boring, as like so many other websites are using AI, and there's so much other companies that are breaking the same news by using AI. It can be the same news all year round. So it can be the exact same thing if you click on something else, or if you decide maybe I want to go on another website, it'd probably be the same. So I definitely agree, because like people, they're the ones that make it creative and they make it different for other people to read. So when it's another website and someone's writing it, it's different compared to another website. So I definitely agree with that.
Yeah. Okay, I think that's all we have today. Yep. Thanks for watching.
Yeah. I hope you guys learned
Yeah.
something new today.
Yeah.